Alrighty, let's go here. It's totally out of focus. So that works. Let's get this in focus. Okay. Window projector over here. And start your engines. There we go. Alrighty. Camera C. Wedging table. Okay, so I'm gonna wedge some of this stuff up right now. I let it kind of sit out for a little bit. We're back to our other clay body, so I'm looking forward to working with it. Porcelain had a good run though. We did 4 days of porcelain, almost a week of porcelain. But we're back to our stoneware. Gonna wedge this forward. Okay. Round this out just a little bit. We got a couple more chunks of clay. So I wonder what I should do with them. Should I wedge them up now? Maybe I'll set them in the wet box and I'll worry about it tomorrow. I think that's probably what I'll do. This way I have some for tomorrow to throw it with anyway. And then I'm gonna do a big session of prepping clay so then I can just chill out for like 3 weeks and not have to wedge anything. Or well, I'll just have to wedge, but we'll set these down here for a second. So I have access to what's underneath here. Somebody said, good morning. Someone said hello. What's up? So we're gonna open this up. It's our wet box. We're gonna throw some clay in here. Okay, right over top. Then we gotta set these back on top of here. It's full of water. Jeez, it's a ton of water. The wheel was leaking, yo. Okay. These two here. Camera A. Pottery shelf. All right, guys, you ready? Green on. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. One more thing. Don't forget, feed them horses. We got a couple more coming your guys' way. We're back to the stone where we're back to our roots. We're back to the best clay body of it all. We got some grog in this stuff. We're gonna be cruising today. It's a little bit soft, but we'll see where we go. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Green off. Camera C. Here we go. Camera A. Something I'm noticing right now. If I look in this, it's all just a bunch of clay in here. So I'm gonna get this out of here. We gotta get some water off the top. There we go. Alrighty. Get some of that clay wiped off on our pants here. Okay. I'm gonna take some of this, bring this over to the edge here. You guys ready? Camera C. Camera B. A little bit of water. First thing that you always want to do is make sure that you get any of those random air pockets kind of cut away. I'm getting ready. Oh wow. It feels so nice to have the stiff clay, the grog. You forget how strong something is with all that grog in there. And I'm down to the bottom. Getting ready. I'm gonna curl this around. I could probably get this a little bit louder, actually. I think I'm gonna do that. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Camera A. Water at the bottom. Slowly bring this up. I have a thin spot right in that middle, but I gotta make sure it doesn't rip. So here we go. Tilt that forward. Slowly walk that down. You're gonna feel some of that clay build up. Don't worry about it. Get ready. Down. Push in. A little bit of water. Bring this up. Right down. We're gonna get ready to swap over to camera C. Take your hammer fist slowly, push this down. Look at where my hand is, always on that left side. Right down to the bottom here. Nice. Here slowly, put some pressure down. Walk that towards yourself. Ride that thumb all the way back towards yourself. And there you go. Maybe we can do one little more. There we go. Just we had to do one more there. Open up this middle part. Here we go. Open that up, make sure there's no rabbits. Slowly take that middle finger. I'm slowly cutting through that bottom. Always cutting, not pushing, right? Cut that bottom open and you get that nice thin base here. We're looking for about 1/8 of an inch. And again, you always want to start at this middle and you slowly want to walk this out to the edge here, you know? It's like you just got done with work and it's sunset, and the sunset is just hitting just right, right? So you drive just a little bit slower. Round this off. If you see, watch camera A, you'll see I have this little ledge here. I don't like that, so I'm going to slowly smooth that into the rest of it. Get one homogeneous little ring, right? And then after that, you guys know what's happening. I think I'm getting a call. Hello? Oh yeah, you can come on over. What's up, guys? It's me, Mr. Llama here. We're gonna be making some volcanoes. Let's get into it. See you guys in a second. Camera B. Llama's gonna bite down right on this rim. He's slowly gonna walk his way back towards that left hand, and that left hand is pushing forward. Remember, they're not going towards center, they're going right past it. And there we go. Get my sponge, a little bit of water on that interior, open that up. Get ready, get your knuckle. The knuckle, you're gonna slowly push this wall in ever so slightly, not too much. And we're gonna focus most on these first pulls to get the walls even, right? There we go. Think about it, you want it to be the most efficient it can be, right? When do you work your best, right? A little bit of pressure maybe, right? Everybody works a little bit differently, right? But for me, I want to make sure that I have everything kind of steady, right? And that way I can do the same task over and over and over and over and over again. I don't like no surprises when I'm trying to grind it out here. So here we go. So I'm viewing this pole. I have those walls not even yet, so I'm going to do just a slight pull and make sure I get them even. Oh, now we're cruising. This next pull is going to be the height pull, and that's the thing that we want it to be. Focus on one thing. Get that bump and take that bump up, right? So here we go. Again, a little bit of water. Using my fingers on the inside, and I'm pushing a little bit outward. They're slowly drifting up above the finger on the exterior, and as soon as you get that bump, now you're cruising. You slowly walk this up. We'll go out a little bit wide on the top. We have one thin spot right in this middle part, so we're going to slowly smooth that out, and we're going to bring this out a little bit wider. There we go. Okay. Okay. The bump, walking, me smiling. So funny. I like that, yo. Okay. So we're at the bottom base here, and we're getting ready to walk this up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should we do one more? I think we have to. So we'll tuck this in a bit more. So a little bit close, but I think it's necessary to add a second one there. Okay. Slowly bring this all the way up to the top, getting ready. And then slowly twist this up. Down. Kiss that rim just a little bit. We kind of got a wide tree on this one today, so it's a little bit wider on that top, but still giving that tree energy. We'll swap over to camera C, and so that's what the interior looks like. This one's a little bit looser. It started to dip down, so I went a little bit too horizontal. You gotta remember there's no support here, so sometimes it's gonna want to dip down. We're gonna swap back over to camera B. Camera B. There we go. So we're gonna pop up this ledge here. And so we want something interesting on this bottom here, right? So what are we thinking? When I'm looking at this one, I think just a normal pattern tendrils would look kind of nice. We haven't done tabs in a while, so maybe we have to do some tabs. But we'll see what we got cruising right at this bottom after we do a pull. Sometimes if you have a lot of clay down here, tabs is not the go-to. Tabs is really when you don't have a wide skirt like this. When you have a really wide skirt, I think sometimes it's nice to do something with it here. Dun. Open this up. Here we go. All right, here's the first one. We're gonna curl these in. Here we go, we're gonna curl this one up. Bring this out, and then I'm going to bring this in. Again, with these tendrils, you always want to make sure you touch them as little as you can, right? Really feed into the gesture of where they want to lay. Bring this in. Nice. Alrighty. Let's get some water right on this bottom here. Send this clay out. There we go. Swap over. Camera A. I'm gonna lift this up. I'm gonna give you guys a little pottery edit here. So, goated 1. We're back. You guys ready? Camera C. Camera B. Get ready. We're gonna push this down first, dry our hands off. Somebody asked, are you gonna fire any of the trees? Do you have any glazed? Haven't glazed a single one, haven't fired a single one. Am I going to one day? Probably. I just don't have the facilities right now. But that's not gonna stop me from making them, right? Pushing our left hand in, bring this up. Dun, dun. Right down to the bottom, push this in, bring this up. One more. Camera A. It's gonna get wobbly on the top. We're not even focusing on the top. Look where below my hands are. That's what we want center. Slowly push this in. Whenever you see that wobbling, don't freak out, but look underneath of my hands, right? Right on center, speed that up as you get more narrow. There you go. Slow that wheel down. Bring that up. You're gonna slowly tilt that over. Wherever you see that wobble, you're going to lower your right hand right there, and you're slowly going to push forward and walk that up to that left hand. And look how that is. You're going to get another one. Boom. Walk that back up. You see how you get that right on center there? Okay, get some more water on there when it's starting to get dry. We're getting ready to transition, so we're going to go to camera C. Hammer fist is coming right down on top, slowly, always pushing forward. Look at that left hand, always on that left side, never going past. Don't lose your wrist. Wrist, what's right behind my hand here? The palm. That's what's pushing right here. My wrist, what's behind my wrist? My radius and ulna, or whatever the heck this thing is called. And then I got my elbow, and then where's my elbow? Right on that hip bone, right? Using my body weight to push this forward. Then I don't have to use my noodly arms, right? Slowly riding along that thumb that's projecting out over top of that clay, walking all that off-center clay out to the side. Where's it going around to? It's going right around to hit that left hand, get everything buttery smooth. All right. Open this up. Any rabbits? I don't know. No rabbits. Now we got some water in there. Can't have the tadpoles be drying out. Open that up. And I'm just using my finger, the tip of my finger to cut across that base, right? And if you just use your finger, you don't have to have another hand doing anything, right? And look, with one hand, you can open up large amounts of clay. If you cut through, you don't pull out. It's all about cutting through that base, yo. I think that's 3 layers of cake. Move that bottom layer. The top 3 layers are just gonna, or the top 2 layers above it are gonna move along with it. Think of your finger not as a finger, but as a bead of water cutting through steel. All right, so here we go. What's up, guys? Long time no see. It's me, Mr. Llama. I just saw you a second ago. We got 1 volcano down. We got 2 more to go. We're gonna get right into it here. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Peace out. Camera B. So Llama's biting right on that rim and slowly walking back towards yourself as that left hand is what is it's doing? It's walking forward. And so I'm going to be gentle because I've realized I'm a little bit thinner than where what I wanted on this base here, right? So the walls are actually pretty even right here, so I got to be careful when I bring my knuckle in. I don't go too thin. Open this up. Why do you stream so late? I mean, it's only, where I'm at, it's like dinner time. You know? For my knuckle, I'm walking this in ever so slightly. I really want to actually be slow here because I'm trying to even out the walls. I'm not really trying to pull up that clay that much, right? There we go. And 1 in the morning out here. Oh, yo, that's rough. 1 in the morning. Dang. Okay. Sorry. I stream at different times of the day during different times of the week. So some days I'm actually a little bit earlier. It'd probably be dinner time for you. What would be like the morning for me, maybe? Okay, here we go. Right down to this bottom. And I'm thin down here, so I gotta make sure I'm slow when I push this base in. And again, we're not really going to try to get any height here. We're just trying to even out that base, right? Because if the base is even, everything above it's going to be even, right? There we go. You can kind of see, did you see how my bone of my leg here, my femur, my elbow's on that, and once it reaches a certain height, then it kind of shifts over real quick. And so that's, if you can see that, those little subtle moments there, it's kind of interesting. All right. Oh, if you gotta get up in 2 hours, go to bed, yo. You can't be staying up. What kind of different things do I make? I make all sorts of stuff, but during the streams, I just make my trees. Again, I'm right down to the base. I'm gonna slowly project this clay up above those fingers. And there we go, we have this bump. Walk that bump all the way up. Go slow enough, allow it to have time to finish its layer height, right? Imagine you're 3D printing. You can't start printing if the layer that you're on hasn't fully printed yet. So wait for that layer to be printed, move up, right? That's some Gen Z pottery right there. Or at least a modern day analogy to throwing. Alright, get some of this water. Alright guys, you ready? Right to this bottom. Being gentle when I get to this top. Get ready. A little outward pressure. Twist that up, right? And allow each layer to be printed. Go as wide as you can bring it. Slow it down. Very gentle. Kiss that rim. There we go. I'll show you guys. Camera C. Smoothing out this bottom. I'm gonna get ready to make that skirt, right? I'm slowly just kind of compressing this down, trying to get any of those air bubbles that were left to the side, because if we made everything on that base centered, right, usually the stuff down here is not going to be perfectly centered. This is kind of the, like when I say if you don't throw something on centered, that doesn't mean you're screwed. This is kind of what I mean is when you're doing your pole, you push down all the extra clay that's off centered, right? And so then you can start your base on center. Does that make sense? You're almost like you're carving out a new place to throw from. And so oftentimes I find that this bottom part is a little bit wonky, especially when I go for a pole or if there's any air bubbles. So I gotta be a little bit careful here. I gotta get some water underneath here too. Is anyone's stream also lagging, or is it my Wi-Fi? Interesting. Yeah, let me know. I wonder if it's something I'm doing. Alright guys. Camera B. Here we go. We'll do 3 and then we'll do one long one. How's that sound? Alright. And so what I want to do first is I want to make these 3 do something. Maybe I want them all to come together, right? It's interesting. I just saw a video or an ad for the new Deadpool movie. And I was looking at some of the ads. There was like an Old Spice ad for Deadpool. There's a lot of these ads that I can't even tell if they're ads or just a part of the movie. It's freaking weird. But I remember I saw Wolverine and his 3 claws, right? So maybe I'll make these 3 claws here. I want them to maybe interact with each other a little bit, right? Maybe this one's a loner. This one on this side, this is a loner. And he's gonna just be hanging out kind of like weird, and he's kind of lazy. He's not fully folded. He's just kind of like sleepy here. He's resting in his own little cocoon like a snail. I'm gonna walk this guy, the tall one. Maybe we want something kind of interesting happening. Maybe we want the tall one actually to be searching and looking at why this one is all alone over here instead of with its buddies, right? So he's gonna be perched up here looking from above. Maybe that one underneath can't even notice that he's there, you know? We got a little stalking situation happening right on the vessel. So look at the way that this guy is just kind of reaching over there, right? We got the 2 friends hanging out. All of a sudden, one guy, he's all alone. But look at this, the long tendril looking out for him, seeing what's going on, right? So bump these up just a little bit. Camera A. Somebody said those roots have more lore than Minecraft. Alright, you guys ready? Goated 1. Green on. Throw that clay up. Are you ready? Bring it down. Project that shoulder over it. Let's get into this next one, guys. Let's go! Woo! Had to be quiet. Green off. Camera C. Do, 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 do. Turn that off. Anymore. Here we go, guys. Push us down. A little bit of water. Push us in. A bit of water there. Alright, here we go. Camera A. Right down to the bottom. Bring this up. And I'm starting to notice they got a little bit of too much clay in my water here, right? Come on. And project that upwards, catch that, bring that up. A little bit too tall to be doing that one-handed. That's a little bit better. Right down to that base. Get ready, pick that up. There we go. We're gonna swap over to camera C. Camera C. And if I'm looking at this stuff right here, look at my little water bucket here. Do you see how it's like almost really thick? You know, I don't like the thick stuff because the thick stuff doesn't get absorbed by the sponge here. So I'm gonna try to get some of that, just the top, more watery stuff in there, right? There we go, okay. Here we go. One more time. Bring this up. I have some thin spots here. I'm gonna bring this down just a little bit, just till I get to that point, and then I'm gonna probably not go down all the way, and then bring this back up. Camera A. Okay, one more from the base here. Slow it down, guys. Wherever it's wobbling, put that right hand there. Slowly walk up that wobble to the left hand and get it right back on center again. Catch that wobble, walk that wobble back up. There you go. And we're gonna swap, go over, camera C. Here comes the hammer fist. Right over top. Hey, I want you guys to look at something. Left hand, where is it? Left side, never going over. Look at where my wrist is. My wrist isn't bent over, right? Right in line. Using that bone, push with that bone there, right? Push this down. You know, you just got off the bus. You're all greasy. Your mom has a nice cold glass of milk waiting for you when you get home, right? Maybe you grab, you know, some Gushers from the pantry. You sit down, you sit in the couch, right? So you sit in that couch, and then you sink into the couch, right? Use your body weight. Right off to this edge here. Where's all that clay going? All that off-centered clay coming out, going around, hitting your palm right there. Sturdy. Take your two thumbs, go inward just a little bit. Open that up. No rabbits, check for those air bubbles. Get some water on the inside there. Using my middle finger to cut open through this base. And look, it's not perfectly centered. Hey, look at this, right? Do you see how there's a little wobble there? Right? Don't freak out. A little wobble is fine. Right through the bottom. Carve that whole bottom out, right? I'm going about 1/8 of an inch. I'd say for most things you want 1/2 an inch, right? But I'm going maybe even a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch because I don't wire them off. I keep them on, they dry, and they just pop right off the bat, right? Again, I smooth this bottom base. I'm starting to feel a little air pocket right in that wall. I don't freak out about it. Hey, I want you guys to look at something too. So, camera B. Okay, so look at this. Do you see how I have different sections here? I want to just smooth all this out so it's just one lump I'm working with. So then I don't have to worry about changing pressure or tension. I have one thing that I have to focus on, right? There we go. Last thing of the day, guys. Hey, guys. Me. Friend of the stream, Mr. Llama. It's been a nice talking to you guys these past 2 pots. You know, we just got off of a porcelain kick. 4 days, that's a rough day of porcelain, you know? We don't like that stuff. We're back to stoneware, we're back at home. One last volcano, let's get into it. Right down to the bottom base. And slowly pull that llama back towards you. As that left hand, as you're projecting that forward just a little bit. And there you go, right at the end here. Krakatoa. Alright guys, I'm gonna open this up. What's the key? Why do we even want this volcano, right? So if we get the walls pretty even now, there's gonna be slight taper when we start bringing this out wider. Wider equals this wall is gonna become thinner, right? We're gonna bring that a little bit wider. It's gonna be a slight taper towards that top. Whenever you're pulling, I find that I want that top clay a little bit less thickness than what I'm pulling below it. If it's way too big of a disparity there, too much tension is being applied when you're trying to push through all that clay, the bottom can't handle it, will fall, right? Walk up this volcano to get your cylinders. Slowly push this in. There we go. Somebody said Mr. Llama needs to address the allegations. He can't keep dodging questions. He's only in it for the volcanoes, yo. You can't depend on Mr. Llama. He's only here for the volcanoes. Alright, here we go. Again, you're going to take your finger. You're going to push this in. And we're just trying to focus on equalizing that base. Have a nice gentle taper all the way up to this top. And that's how we're going to get some nice height through our height poles here, right? I'm going to call this in just a little bit, right? We want this just a little bit more narrow. And you can see when I collar, look how much height I'm getting from a collar, right? There we go. And also, look at this. Any inconsistencies, right? When you bring it inwards or outward, it's going to exaggerate that, right? So a lot of people would say, all right, I'm going to trim off this top. Don't even trim off the top, because chances are when I go back down to do another pull, this might get uneven again. Wait until the end if you're going to cut that stuff off, right? Right down to the bottom. Yeah, someone's asking about the Far Cry 5 stream. Oh gosh. Interesting. I'll have to look at that in a second after this pull. So I'm pushing this in this base. I'm slowly dishing this little bump out on top. And look, I'm having that pressure come across. I need to be careful. I'm going a little bit too much inwards here. But I have this bump, and I'm not letting go of it. Once you have this bump, you got to hold on to this for dear life, right? That's how you're going to stretch out that clay. That's how you're going to get that height. You don't see that bump, you don't be pulling, right? There we go. Also, look at all this. Camera C. Camera C. I got a freaking leak down here, guys. Also, the music stopped? What's going on here? I gotta do a couple of things, guys. Alright. Quit leaking, dude. He's crying. The wheel is in pain, guys. He's like, come on, Pottery Demon. Give me a break. Give me a break, dude. Sorry. Sorry, wheel. One day we'll give you a break. Somebody said hello from Poland. Alright, also I gotta read that. Do you know what would be cool? Far Cry Strike. Other than that, it would be cool if you are done with the pot. We could see a loop short of the finished pot with VHS effects and TV graphics. I've been thinking about doing some short form content where I just have just all three pots, and it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like, you know, choose your favorite one, right? Like, what's the one that you like the most? I think that'd be kind of interactive. But I wonder if it's like too clickbaity, right? Like, is it inciting people to interact with it too much? Like, I think it's a cool idea and relevant to pottery, but I also feel like a lot of people do that as like a clickbait cringe way, right? All right, hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta get this music playing. Camera A. Okay. Twisty, twisty, make it twisty. I got you, Safari Man. Alright. Should we do a base right at this bottom? And here we go. I'll slowly walk this up, right? We barely got that 7th one in there. Alright, now we're going to slowly taper this outward. And something we're going to do on this one is we want this one to kind of be a bottom twist, right? And so we're actually going to carry this twist down first to get it twisted up lower. And so watch, it's going to start twisting up a little bit lower. Press that down for a second. Get ready. Swap over to camera B. I'm slowly bringing this outward now. There we go. And then kiss that rim. And so this one expresses that twist, that trunk of the tree a different way, right? And you know what? We actually have some interesting moments here. We might even do something a little bit different on this pot. So if I'm looking here, guys, look how much space of clay I have to work with here. I usually just bring all this clay up into the pot, and then I alter it in some sort of way, right? What if I, instead, you see how there's these two levels? This one's a little bit higher, then it dips down right here. Higher, dips down, right? What if I cut into right here, and I just have this up so there's a little bit of a buffer between that and what's happening on the inside? Sound good? Let's do it. Wait a second. Oh, it's over here. Alright, pop this up. gotta be a little bit slower because I can start feeling that tension. It's gonna wanna fold rather than be able to be pulled. We don't want that. Slowly kicking that up. There we go. All right, so do you see how we have a buffer now? And so we're gonna keep that buffer, and we're gonna start pulling right from where that buffer is, right? And so, you know, say we wanted to do some interesting little petals on this one. It's gonna look a little bit different than what it would normally like. So here we go. Bring this in. Bring this in. And look at that, you got some petals right on the bottom there. So look at that, giving it a buffer, right? Changed it totally. I'm gonna swap the camera over to camera C. Camera C. Right, and so look at how these look. It almost looks like little flower petals there, right? Pretty fun, right? All right. Camera B. Take this one off. I got one more pottery edit for you guys. I'll see you guys in a second. Goated 1. Look at that, guys. I feel like the image here is just freaking nice. Alright, guys. I'll see you guys over there in a second. So, sorry, guys. One moment. But while I'm over here, guys, I need you guys to send me some energy. So, send me some energy. I need some help with that. And you shrink myself down. I gotta use my pottery powers here. It's like I'm charging a spirit bomb, guys. 3 episodes later. Green on. Let's get into it. We're gonna start off with this one. This one is the winner of the day. It feels so fresh. It feels so different from a lot of the other ones, right? I feel like we're breaking some new ground with adding that buffer right at that base, giving some space, you know? Once you give that space, you allow that tree to really speak, and you allow that bottom tendril area, this time it was petals on that one, to really speak volumes, right? Really, I think this one looks like the most tree out of most of the tree forms that I do, right? The most tree of the tree forms. But then we got this one over here. This one was an interesting pot. You can't see the other side of it, but I was playing with almost like adding a lure. Somebody was saying in the chat, I thought I liked that word, a lure to the pot. You know, I have 3 of these tendrils on one side, right? So I have 3 in one long tendril. And those 2 of the 3 tendrils, they're kind of hanging out being buddies, while the other one's kind of curled up, right? That's what you're seeing right here. This one right here is kind of curled up, right? And then that long one, I was like, wow, that one that's curled up, it's hiding away, it's alone. You know, you got the other 2 on the other side, they're being friends together. The long one is curious about why this one is off by itself, right? Kind of having some sort of curiosity baked into the object there. we got this one up here. This one is probably more of a basic one. It's our first one getting back into the stoneware. I'm feeling good about it. I like how wide I can go, a lot more than some of the ones that I could do with the porcelain. And so I'm already liking that back on the stoneware. It's kind of a more basic and mundane pot, but I always say you gotta have the mundane to highlight the extraordinary. Thank you guys so much for watching. All the best, and strong mentality. Alright guys, so that was a stream. If you have some questions and I didn't get to some things during the stream, you can plop those down. I'll sit for a second and I'll answer some of those things. I'm going to bring this stuff over here so it can dry. Green off. Okay. Pop this down. Okay. I think we're all good. Is that a TV shop program? Never thought pots could have this much lore and meaning. So funny, right? And the thing about that though, right, is that it's not just like I'm illustrating it on there, right? Like I'm actually trying to make the form itself tell that lore. I think that's like the interesting part for me about them, right? You know, for a long time I didn't think it was possible to have like those sort of stories with just the form while it's on the wheel. I thought it was always after the wheel alterations, but it's just a fun thing that I've kind of found while I was making stuff, right? Somebody said see you, somebody said bye. Yep, thank you guys for watching, yo, I appreciate it. Somebody said I also had fun making bread with you doing pottery stuff. That's kind of funny. Cindy said R.I.P. Jeff. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, of course. How do you not get distracted? Like, by what? Have you ever thought of multi-streaming? I'd really like to be able to watch you on Twitch. I just don't know if Twitch is, like, do you think that's a good, like right now I'm streaming vertically, right? And I wouldn't stream horizontal. I think it really makes sense that I'm vertical here. I think like the vertical format of the content makes sense for what I'm doing, right? And so I think like personally, I don't know if Twitch is it. Like right now it's YouTube Shorts, and I think that's like ideal because it's vertical content already. But I don't know if you really think Twitch is a thing like that I should do. I just don't know. I feel like I often hear negative things about Twitch. And I've always just been a YouTube kid. But how do I not get distracted? I don't know. I used to get distracted at the beginning, but I think since I do this every day, it's slowly getting less distracted. But you'll even see, like when I watch and edit the videos, like during the stream, it might not seem like there's like pause moments, or maybe it does. But there's a lot of in-between stuff that I'm not really doing anything. And like there's moments where I get just interested in asking a question, then I stop actually working. But sometimes I do pretty good. Like I can't do one thing for an hour straight. How do you stay focused the whole stream? Oh, well, because I've made it like a necessity to throw every day, right? And so like if I don't do it, like I wouldn't be able to like actually do anything else, right? Like because I'd be so obsessed with trying to get this done, right? And so for me, it's kind of like how do you build that up so you can structure things that way, right? Like at the beginning it wasn't like that, and I didn't even want to do it, and I still don't really want to do it at my core, but it's like now it's like a built up thing where I get value from continuing to push along this little train of ideas, right? Twitch has better functionality, but the vertical is nice. Oh, so you like the vertical? That's so cool to hear that. Because I used to, if you go back like a while ago, I was only doing horizontal content, but then these side spaces felt so empty. Like, I kind of like how cluttered, and you almost feel like you're in it with me right now, right? Like, I feel like we're trapped. Whether I felt like before, since I had wide, it was like open, right? I kind of like being locked in. It feels like secluded. It feels like focused towards the wheel. You're gonna see terrible things on Twitch. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. But if I have enough people telling me they think I should do that, I might try to do a multi-streaming thing. But I don't know. It's just sometimes I think it gets too like you're like chasing after the views, right? Like, I don't know. I just want to make my content so good that like with a few things that do get views, right? That people are like, they like that stuff, right? I try pretty hard to make the quality a little bit nicer, right? And so hopefully that they'll stay. Even though I post so often, like, I hope it's good, you know? Somebody said they also like the format. I like having 2 black bars and 1 Pottery Demon on my iPad. I also have an iPad, and whenever I have an Instagram, you know, and so I'll open that up, and I'll look at it, and I'll be like, huh, like, on the iPad it looks weird, but then it kind of feels like cool. Like, I totally get what you mean. It feels unconventional, which makes it feel like interesting. It's a good vibe. Can add people and watch some of your older edits. You say agree about the wide space. And you can still have top part. Yeah, I like that, the open space, like that top part. I've done something there. I do think I want to change it around. I would like to have somehow I could make like a little dial screen, so this would zoom out and be a part of a dial, and you could see the different camera angles that are like options. So I feel like sometimes people don't necessarily know all the camera angles, right? Like, I have computer, right? And you can see the green screen over there. I have wheel, right? And you can see my hands like this. But I also, if you want to see the top part, I can swap over to camera C. And now, you know, you have another angle. I feel like I need a camera angle right where this is. That's like my next goal when I get enough money to afford another camera. I would like to get something so you can see what these hands are doing across from each other. I think it'd be interesting. And I got like camera A. Oh, dang it. I forgot. I blundered it, guys. I still haven't put that abort button in there. But camera A is this, but camera B is just a zoom in, right? And so, I don't know. There's a lot I can do with all of these things, but I just haven't sat down to work through all of it. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know about TikTok, yo. TikTok kind of freaks me out. Would you stream Far Cry 5 vertical? Yeah, I think I would. The Far Cry 5 thing, I think would be interesting if it was just happening in the background and I was wearing my green screen like shirt and I had one of my friends play Far Cry 5 while I'm just like throwing. Somebody saw me from TikTok? No way. That's interesting. What do you mean? I think I do have a TikTok, but I don't think I've posted on there in like months, yo. I started it and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. Yeah, I wiped. Yeah, but I feel like I could hook it up to the stream, so, or like have a poll that you guys could you imagine you just get to choose a camera angle? I feel like it'd be sick. What does that clay taste like? Alright guys, that's enough for me. I'm gonna head off here though, okay? Alright. I'll give you guys one more pottery edit though, so goated 1. Computer, I'll see you guys in the next one. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.